What's going on? I am a silly man. How you doing? What's going on? Welcome to the replay. I didn't have the camera on. I didn't have the microphone on. I had nothing on. I just hit go live. It was like, oh, I have a black screen and no sound. Anyway, that's always a good thing, right? Let me just make sure that the microphone is the right one. Yes. Hello. How you doing? Welcome to the replay. My name is Bobby. I am the host of this group. Hang on, I need some water. I'm the host of this group, and this is Daily Fuel. Yeah. So if you're watching in the replay, do me a favor and let me know you're in the replay. Say hi. How you doing? Hashtag something or other. Any hashtag that you like. Make one up. They're cool. Hashtag replay. Hashtag I missed it. Hashtag pick a better time. Anything you like. I don't know. And if you're watching live, then you can comment the whole time that I'm talking. I'm going to go through my spiel in a minute or two. And I will pretty much ignore all the comments the whole time I'm talking. And then when I'm done with my thing, I come back and I read your stuff in the comments here. And Ray is here. Wah. Yeah, probably reacting to the black screen at first. And is that what that means? Like, what? Is that what that means? Or is it wah, like you're crying? I'm not sure which that is. It's hard to tell. Nathan, hey, Bobby. What's up, buddy? How you doing, man? Nathan, you know, I just took my contacts out and put my glasses on, and they're all yucky. I can't see much out of them, so I'm going to do this real quick. Nathan, in yesterday's live, made a comment about just learning how to say no, the ability to say no, and so that was the what do you call it? The inspiration for today's live. Hashtag I made it on time. Yeah, you made it. All right, I thought maybe there'd be some more people on by now, but there are not. What's going on this week? There's like hardly anyone around. I don't know. Is it a weird week? Whatever. All right, you two aren't allowed to leave because context, black screen, no sound. What the fuck? Yeah, that's it. Thank you. All right, let's just start. Here we go. Learn to say no. It's like the smallest word in the dictionary besides and I. It's no. It's just two letters, and it's really difficult to say. It's hard to do because there's a lot of feelings that come with the word no. And specifically what I'm talking about is if people impose upon you and ask you to do something that in your heart of hearts you know, I don't want to do that. It's okay to say no. So let's just start there, is that it's okay to say no to things. In fact, I would say it's mandatory. But as a preface to everything I'm about to say, it's hard to say no. I mean, we don't want to feel disagreeable. We don't want to come across as mean or rude or impolite, you know. Maybe people are asking you for favors. I don't know. Whatever the circumstances are, somebody has come to you and said, hey, do this thing for me, and you want to say no, but we're kind of conditioned to say yes. You know, as children, we're taught to share and be agreeable and you know, listen to your elders or obey the authorities. All of these things, and a lot of times we just don't want to. Just don't want to. So, you know, it's important that we learn to say no matter where you are in life now, what part of your career, of your life, of anything. It could be family members imposing. It could be clients or customers imposing. It could be anybody. Any time you have a relationship with other people, these people are going to want something from you. I have had to learn how to say no because as an entrepreneur and as a host of a Facebook group like this, I have people who come to me sometimes and say, hey, I'd like to do this thing. I'd like to work with you on this. What do you think about working on a project like this? And I have had to realize that there are certain things that are a fit for me and certain things that are not. I have my goals. I have the place that I'm trying to get to. I have the things that I'm trying to accomplish. And while I am flattered that people would think to ask me to work on some things, occasionally I need to say no thank you because they don't fit in my plans. Not because you're an asshole, not because oh, get out of my face. There's nothing harsh about it. It's just wow. First of all, I'm flattered, and second of all, I'm very happy that the work that I'm doing would elicit such an offer, like, hey, I think highly of you. Would you like to work on this thing? Wow, thank you so much for asking. Unfortunately, no. And that's it. And it's not a harsh thing. So I feel like I'm getting ahead of myself. I've got my things. And number one is learning to say no and then practicing saying no. It's healthy for you, but it's also healthy for them. And here's why. When you say no, actually, no. When you say yes to things that are really a no, what happens is you're filling your time with crap you don't want to do. So now you're feeling bad about yourself. You're feeling bad about them. You're starting to resent them. It's like, why am I doing this for you? I should be doing this other thing. And now you're attaching this negative feeling to them. That's not fair. They just asked you to do something. They just said, hey, would you like to do this thing? It's not even like, oh my God, I need it. I'm begging you. I mean, sometimes people do that, but for the most part, a lot of times that our time is asked to be used by other people, it's a request. Hey, can you do this thing for me? Fine. Because we don't know how to say no. And now what happens is now we feel bad about it. Now we're feeling like it's taking time away from the real, authentic things we should be doing in our life. And we feel bad about that. And we're taking that negative feeling and we're attaching it to this person. That's not fair to them. They didn't do anything. They just said, hey, you're awesome and I'd like to work with you. Would you like to do this thing with me? Fine. Now I hate you. It's like, that's not fair. They didn't do anything. In that case, sometimes they're assholes, I know. Sometimes they are really overimposing. But again, it doesn't matter because it's not fair to take this negative emotion that we feel as I really wish that I had the strength and the courage and the confidence to just stick to my principles and work on my core values and the things that are important to me and be authentic to me. I wish I could do that, but I can't. So you're an ass. I just smacked the water pipes. So I hate you. So I blame you. And that's what happens. So it's not healthy for you to say yes to the wrong things. And it's also not nice to do it to them. Number two is it's empowering. When you say no, well, now you're telling the universe and you're telling yourself, you're telling that little child version of you, you know what? You're important to me. And I'm not going to fill your day with crap you don't want to do. I'm not going to dump all this shit on you that's other people's stuff or things we don't really care about, or right. I'm not going to take that burden and put it on your shoulders. I'm going to just say, I don't care whose shoulders they're on. They're not my things. So you're telling yourself and you're telling the universe, and most importantly, you're telling that inner child inside of you who didn't learn how to say no. You're telling that kid, you're important to me, and I'm going to protect you. Well, what happens when that happens? You feel the power of that. You get empowered, and you feel like, well, somebody's got my back, even though it's you. You've got your own friggin' back. It opens up room for authenticity. And in fact, I would say it expands the room you have for authenticity. You always have a spot for your authentic work, the things in your life that make you you. But when you say no to other things, it expands that. It suddenly makes you this superhero that can do anything. Say no to a few things and reflect on how that feels. You'll realize that, wow, nobody else would stand up for me like that, except I just stood up for myself like that. And that really just, the power can swell inside of you when you do that. It's a feeling. It's hard to express it in words, but if you do it, or you've done it in the past, and you know what I'm talking about. You know what that feels like. And then on the flip side is they will respect you. If somebody imposes upon you or makes an offer to you that's not a fit, or is just asks you, hey, would you like to do this thing with me or for me or whatever, and you're like, no, thank you. They'll respect you because they'll realize that you know what's important to you and what's a good fit for you. And if they don't respect you, then they're just an asshole who's trying to get something out of you, and you don't need that anyway, so who cares? So you may be wondering, well, how do I do this? I mean, it all sounds great, right? It all sounds wonderful. I would love to say no to that one and no to this thing and definitely no to that thing, right? But how do you do it without coming across mean, all right? And my favorite no in the whole world, my favorite one that I've ever heard, have you ever seen the show Friends? There's this character Phoebe, who's the wild one, and one of the friends was asking if they would help him. Was asking the other ones if they would help him do a thing. I think it was move. And Phoebe just said, "Oh, I wish I could, but I don't want to." And it was just like it's. I mean, obviously it was just a funny sitcom line, but man. Isn't that just what you want to say sometimes to people? Hey, you want to help me do this thing, or do you want to work on this thing, or do you want to do this thing for me? And you just want to say, oh, I wish I could, but I don't want to do that. Because that's what we're feeling like. I really don't want to do that. I don't want to go there. I don't want to be with them. I don't want to be with you. I don't want to do that thing. But we can't say that because then people are just going to say that we're mean or rude or anything. So we don't have to be mean. We don't have to be confrontational. We don't have to be rude. We don't have to be belligerent. We don't have to make excuses. We don't have to over-explain ourselves. Well, you see, I would do it except that on Tuesday I've got this thing happening and blah, blah, blah. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Because the minute you start putting out excuses as to why, well, I would except this thing is going on, they'll just say, well, do it after the thing. Well, I can't because after the thing, I got this other thing. And it's like, well, then just do it that other day, or just do it this way, or just do it. If you're saying you would do it except for this one thing, well, then they're just going to say, well, then do it around that thing, right? Because you just said I would do it. You have to say no. No thanks. Hey, listen, thanks so much for thinking of me. I'm very flattered. However, it's not a good fit for my business. That's how I would say if somebody asked me if I wanted to do some kind of a venture. You know, I'm always open to hearing venture proposals. However, I say no very often because they're not usually a fit. Sometimes they are. So I never tell people, like, get the fuck away from me. Don't tell me, don't even make me an offer for anything. I don't say that. I'll listen to anything. But, hey, I'd love to talk to you. Sure, I'll talk to you. I'm working on this thing. Would you like to work on it with me? You know what? Thanks very much for asking me, but that's really not a good fit for me, so I'm going to respectfully decline. That's it, you respectfully decline. There's nothing to say to that. Well, how about when you're not respectful? No, there's no way around that. You know what? That's really just not a good fit for me. Sorry, but thank you. Now, I know that's a one way to do it in business, but when it's personal, you know, we just need to learn how to set boundaries with the people who have personal relationships in our lives. You may have the sibling or the parent or the child or the whatever, the aunt, the this, the that, the best friend who just don't have those boundaries with you and are just like, yo, I need you to do that thing for me, you know? And it's like, well, I can't anymore. And I created a rule in my house. I'll give you an example, and maybe you could figure out for it, because I can't think of every possible scenario in the world for everybody. But here's a rule that I have in my house for everybody in my house, and the rule is this: if my son or my daughter or my wife are asked to do a thing that they don't want to do, especially my kids, the answer is, my dad said I can't. You know, it's not so effective with my wife. My husband said I can't. That doesn't really sound great. But my dad said I can't. You can't argue with that. My daughter was like, they want me to do this thing. I really don't want to do it. Your dad said you can't. That's it. Blame me. I will take the blame. I will take all of the blame all the time, because anyone can come to me and I don't give a shit. You have a problem with me saying no? I don't care. Right? But, you know, my kids, they might not know how to say no yet, so I'm teaching them that my dad said I can't. And I learned that from sales training, because when you're in business, sometimes it's hard to say no to people when they ask you to do things. A client says, can you do this for me? Or somebody wants to do this kind of a project and you don't want to do it. The trick that they taught was pretend you have an invisible business partner. You know, I wish that I could, but my business partner won't let me do things like that. I've promised him I'd stay on track. I promised her that I would only do this kind of project from now on. I can't help you. My business partner will kill me. And I don't even have a business partner. I just made this person up. But you don't tell them that. This is what you say. And I used to do it that way until I got confident enough to be like, you know what? That doesn't really fit with my business goals. Thank you very much. And eventually my kids won't need to say, my dad said I can't. Eventually they'll just be like, you know what, that doesn't really fit with what I'm working on right now. I really need to study, or I really need to do this, or I'm in this kind of a relationship now. I don't want to do that anymore. That's how you do it. So if you need to practice saying no, find a person that you can blame and be like, you know, I would, but I promised so and so I can't. And that's it. Just say no. Learn to say no. Saying no is very freeing, and when the more you do it, the easier it becomes. And until you say no to practically everything, and the only thing you got left is the time and the space for yourself, which is really what we want anyway. So let's go to the comments. I see some. Let's see what we got. Context, but I saw that Kelly's here. Hi. Hashtag. Robin's here. Hey, Robin. How you doing? No. Hello, awesome Bobby. Hi. Hello, no. Hell no, Bobby. Okay. Too many L's. Just kidding. Hi, Bobby and company. Hi, Deb. How are you? Nathan. Hang on, buddy. I need some water before this. Learning to say no helps you put in place healthy boundaries with people and allows others to have clarity about what they can expect from you. Yeah, that's really good. It gives people clarity about what they can expect from you. You know, I'll finish reading that in a minute. The whole thing about, in business especially, I think of this. Somebody may come to me with, can you do this or can you do that? And I'll say no, but that doesn't mean I've closed the door and been like, yeah, I will never work with you on anything. That just means like, hey, wow, thank you so much for thinking of me for this thing. This is not a good fit for me, but that doesn't mean that our relationship is now over. It gives them clarity to understand that, oh, you know, Bobby's not a good person, a good match for that project, but I got this other thing. I wonder if he's a good match for that because he's working on this. Good point, Nathan. Thank you for that. Gives people clarity about what to expect from you. Saying no allows us to choose where we put our time and energy. That's it exactly. You're not being mean. And saying no is not about being mean. It's about saying yes to yourself. It's about saying yes to your own time and your own energy and your own authentic needs, because quite frankly, you are useless to everybody if you are not fulfilled. What good are you to help other people if you yourself are not filled up and fulfilled and great? You need to fill your own cup first. Then you can pour your stuff out into other people's cups. You can't pour from an empty cup. You can't do it. It's empty. Deb, I said no to someone recently that I would have always said yes to. It felt good, but I'm still letting go of the guilt, though. LOL. Thanks, Deb. I asked you to repost that comment in the live, and you did. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it feels good too. Now, for two reasons for you. One is that you said no, which means you're saying yes to yourself, but also you're realizing that, wow, look at the growth that I have achieved. In the past, I would have just said yes for whatever reason. I'm not going to tell you why you said yes in the past, but there are lots of reasons why we do that. Except I have now grown to the point where I'm strong enough to say no. Did the world end, Deb? Did you know what I mean? Did they come to your house and murder you? Probably not, because you're here. I guess by saying no, we are really saying yes to ourselves. Yeah, exactly. Well done. Nice, Deb. Good job. And thank you for sharing that. Kelly says, this topic is so aligned with my current lessons. Good. I am proud with my progress with this, though. Honoring the sacred no. You gotta say no. You know, when you say yes to things all the time, people, going back to Nathan's thing, another point, people will learn what to expect from you. When you say yes all the time, people just will learn that, oh, I need that thing done. I'll just ask so-and-so. They always say yes. You know what I mean? It's like, I need this done and I don't feel like doing it, so I'll just ditch it on them. And I'm not saying that people are sinister and mean, like now they're going to be like, oh, every time I've got this crappy thing, I'm just going to give it to them because they're morons and they'll do it for me. It's usually not quite so insidious. Usually it's just an energy level kind of a thing. You're the person that I go to for that. And I never even dawned on me that I was using you or abusing you. I was just I just thought that was the kind of relationship we had. You know what I mean? That's what people will think. And then when you say no, after saying yes for so long, there might be an awkward pause. What do you mean no? You always say yes. I'm in a bind now. I just assumed you would. You know, no? What do you mean? And again, that's not your problem because they just assumed you would. Shouldn't assume. You know what happens when you assume. This time I said that. Robin. Deb. Yes, Deb. There you go. Saying no to someone else is saying yes to yourself. For Bobby's reference. Yep. Very good. Thank you. Yes, yes, yes. I said 3 things that were very smart, apparently. And Kelly says, as a recovering people pleaser, this is such an important message, so thank you. You're welcome. And I just heard from myself while you were talking about the find someone to blame thing. I would, but I promised my own damn self that I wouldn't, and that made me smile. Yeah, you know, you could say that you promised yourself. You don't even have to make up a business partner or blame dad. You know, you could just say, you know what, I like helping you, but I promised myself that I would stick to my thing because I just want to get this done and it's that important. I hope you understand. Now, if you say that to somebody, one of 2 things is going to happen. They will not understand, in which case, why is this person in your life? Because they don't give a shit about you. Number 2 is they will prove that they deserve to be in your life because they'll say, wow, that's amazing that you're doing that. How can I help you? People will turn around to now help you. How can I be of assistance to you? What? Help me? What are you talking about? That's not the way this goes. Usually people just walk all over me. But the right people in your life will then be like, oh, I understand. I now understand that you need to do this thing for yourself. Let's get it done. How can I help? Maybe I can only help by getting out of your way. And I'll just go find something else to go do because I'm doing my thing and you're doing your thing. Great. You know? That's wonderful. Articulation is being able to express your ideas in a clear and concise manner. Yeah, it's important to learn how to articulate yourself because otherwise, you know what? I don't know if you meant this, but I'm going to riff on this way. A lot of times I think it's difficult to say no because we think we need to explain why to people and we don't know how to say it. Because we think, I can't help you with your thing because I have to do my thing. But I don't really have my thing down yet and I don't know how to explain it. And I'm afraid that if I do, it's going to sound stupid. And since it's stupid, what's the point of even doing it? Fine, I'll do your thing. Right? Is that what happens sometimes? Does that sound a bit familiar to you? Good one, Nathan. The yes, yes, yes was meant to be in response to Nathan's comment about boundaries. Oh, I thought I said 3 smart things. I said none. Okay. Well, that's the last comment. Good, because I get to leave then. So, because I don't have time for this. So thank you guys for hanging out with me. I really do appreciate it, as always. Deb, you get the booby prize today. And today's Thursday, so I'm doing, just because I know there was a little confusion. Here's the deal. I'm trying to do Daily Fuel Monday to Thursday. However, there are days when like on Monday, I wasn't able to do it. Something came up. I don't remember what it was. But I wasn't able to do it, so I did it Tuesday to Thursday. But pretty much Friday, Saturday, and Sunday won't be doing it at all. So don't be looking for it. If something came up where I had to do one, I would make it very well known in the group. But Monday to Thursday is the day. And apparently we're not done. Rob... I don't know why Ecamm does that. It's so silly. Like, what is the purpose of making the profile picture that big? Is that necessary? I need to see the text. I don't need to see the face that big. It's just multiple comments, Robin. Okay, that would be helpful. Let's see. When I continually... I already fucked this up. I'm on the first half of the first line, and I've already messed this one up. Ugh. When I continually... Why can't I say that word? Continually? When I continually got roped into listening to my brother and dad constantly calling me to bitch to me about the other, I had no clue. I spent way too much time of my life for years thinking I was honoring my father and I was being a good sister to my brother for way too long. Unfortunately, it wasn't until I had therapy discovered boundaries. I now have the perfect answer now that I no longer need it, and I would have and should have said to each of them, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I hope you two can figure things out." And then hang up. I can read Robin now. So no guilt, no regrets, no feelings of being unresponsible or unresponsive, but pure relaxation. Because after every phone call, no matter from whom the call came to for hours, I felt terrible. They got their shit off their chest and I made them feel great, but then I was the one who felt like shit myself after. Now, what's up with that? It keeps going. I can read it over here. Where is it? That's the end. No. No. I was saying no. You were not done. Okay. It rather what? I don't know. Anyway, that's a good point, Robin. Yeah, we have a lot. That's a tough one, when you've got family members who are just like, "Hey, can I talk to you a second?" Oh my God, no. You can't. I can't. And you can learn to say no. You can practice, and it doesn't. You can start with, "I can't talk right now. Can we do this later?" Because when you do that, now you don't have to say to them, "You know what? I don't want to hear your shit anymore. Go figure it out together. Leave me out of it." You can say that, but you don't have to. You could just be like, if they were to call you, and this is a general situation. If they were to call you, you can literally be like, "Hey, listen, I'm sorry. I'm in the middle of something. Can we talk about this later?" Because 9 times out of 10, later, they're not on their crazy horse anymore. They calm down from that. Now it's a different thing later. So you could just keep pushing it off, and then you don't have to talk to them. Or why, if they're just on the phone with you, a family member, say, just take the phone, put it down, go about your day, come back. Because they're just do they care what you have to say? Or are they just yapping their mouths? You don't have to hear the words. Just let them yap their mouths. Who cares? It doesn't have to kill you. Robin, I got cut off trying to squeeze my comment in before you cut off. That's why I don't finish what I was saying. Now I don't remember. See what I said? That's what I mean. You don't even remember what you were trying to say because you got cut off. Now you just made my point for me. It happened to you what I was trying to say. Just let them go or tell them you'll talk later. Yes, they care what I say. All right. Well, in general, okay? Anyway, Robin, you can have the booby prize. And I'm going to go now, okay? Thanks, guys, very much. I'll see you Monday. Have a great weekend. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.